Thank you for being a virtual volunteer for Junior Achievement North. As educators have embraced new avenues for educational experiences, JA has explored and learned which virtual experiences are of great value and meet student needs. JA North volunteer videos are being shared with classrooms all over Minnesota, North Dakota, and Western Wisconsin. Thank you for being a part of this innovative way to impact all students, wherever they may be. Let's look at how you can prepare to create a memorable and impactful recorded educational experience. This video will help prepare you to record a great JA volunteer video. Watching this video will prepare you to connect virtually with a diverse student audience, help you get ready to record your video, and introduce you to virtual volunteer resources. Your volunteer presentation guide will go into more detail on the content of your video presentation. Be sure to read it thoroughly before beginning to record. We will offer you tips on recording a video, but this is not a tutorial on how to use recording software. If you need help with this, check out the resources in your presentation guide or try searching for how-to videos on YouTube. Prepare to record your video. The JA Volunteer Presentation Guide will provide you with everything you need to know about what to include in your video. The last page gives instructions on the logistics of recording and submitting your video. Be sure to read the whole presentation guide before you start recording. To get a better idea of what you are creating, watch one of the example videos on the virtual volunteer page of our website. Review the training materials. You're in the right place to do that. This presentation will get you on your way to recording a great video. At Junior Achievement, we strive to have empathy and understanding of our students. Deepen your empathy by ensuring your examples and lessons are inclusive to diverse demographics. Learning more about our school's neighborhoods and where our students live. Connect your experiences to the experiences of students. Let's talk more about how to do this as you prepare to record your video. Did you know North Dakota and Minnesota students speak nearly 300 different languages at home? In North Dakota, German and Spanish are the top non-English languages spoken at home. In Minnesota, Spanish, Somali, and Hmong are the top non-English languages spoken at home. You might not know exactly who the audience of your video will be. As you create your video presentation, imagine that you have a diverse group of students in front of you who all have different knowledge and experiences. Using stories is a great way to help students connect with the important concepts you are describing. Let's watch a short video to learn more about the power of storytelling. These clips were taken from the Junior Achievement video, Why Stories Are Important.
Stories are what make us human. So when somebody wants to get material across to someone by telling a story, something that happened to them, something that's really personal, then it makes the content concrete. You know, a lot of what happens in learning and in classrooms and in teaching really is abstract concepts that are really hard to get your head around or don't have anything to link it to something that you can relate to.
So when I'm telling a story, should I try to think back to an example from when I was their age, the student's age? Or is it okay to tell an example of just recent, what's happening to me now, what kinds of decisions I'm making with money now?
I think be authentic. I think whatever comes to mind that feels like a story that you can reach them emotionally and give them something concrete to work with. Emotion is such a big part of learning. Sometimes we forget that actually an emotional story or having relevance to their life, bringing in that emotion, is what makes learning sticky.
Cool, sticky. So tell me about what makes a story emotional, or what do you mean when you say make it emotional?
Well, it's connection.
Yeah.
Right? So if you tell me a story and then I have a similar experience or it makes me think of something in my life, I'm emotionally connected.
So what makes a good story? How do you start a good story?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. We're not talking about a TED Talk or something of that nature. We're really talking about simple, short examples where this has happened in your life. Then the sort of 3 core principles are what happened, tell what happened, tell whether what happened was good or bad, and why.
When preparing the content, examples, and stories for your video, think about the language you will use. Make sure that is inclusive. So, what is inclusive language? Carolyn Forsey writes, inclusive language avoids biases, slang, or expressions that discriminate against groups of people based on race, gender, or socioeconomic status. Inclusive language allows you to resonate with more audiences by speaking and writing in more impartial ways. How can you be sure to use inclusive language in your presentation? Just follow this checklist. Check your stories for stereotypical language or ideas around gender, race, culture, lifestyle, poverty, or measures of success. Avoid using metaphors, figures of speech, or industry-specific vocabulary, unless you are going to explicitly define it. Introducing new vocabulary is fine, as long as you define it so students understand what you're saying. Describe complex concepts in more than one way. State the big ideas plainly, and then describe again with added detail. Show visual representation, such as props, diagrams, or images, to illustrate and reinforce ideas. Refer to a theoretical person as they instead of he or she. Use gender-neutral labels for family members. For example, you might say parent or caregiver instead of mom or dad. So, next step. Personalize and practice. As you read through the JA presentation guide, think about how you can make personal connections to the material and to the students. Consider your audience. Is your video for a particular age group? If so, think about that. If you're recording for kindergarten or first graders, for example, you'll use different vocabulary and speak more slowly than if you're recording a video for middle or high school. Also, is it for a particular class or school? If so, you might incorporate local examples, such as using local businesses in your stories and examples. Choose 1 or 2 stories about the topic to share. As we learned in the stories video, students love stories, and it helps make the message stick. Jot down a few examples that bring the information to life. It's recommended that you print out and take notes right on your presentation guide. Use examples relevant to the audience. Choose stories that include interests of young people. Review example videos of the presentation you're recording. Again, you can find these on the virtual volunteer page of our website. Practice moving between screen shared documents and your camera. All right, here are some tips for tech. Check the camera angle so that the view is straight on, not tilted up or down, not too close or too far away. Make sure you fill the whole frame, not just the bottom half. If you're using any prop that you'll show to the camera, make sure you bring it close enough to get a good view. You will want to practice this to determine how near or far you should bring the prop. Use the landscape setting. Landscape means that the short edges of your frame are on the sides. This eliminates black bars on the side of your video. Most devices today come with a built-in camera or video recording app and are pretty good quality. This is a great tool when you are just recording yourself. Or you might use a virtual meeting platform. If you plan to do a screen share or are recording with a partner or group, using a virtual meeting platform like Zoom or Microsoft Teams is a great option. There are many tools available for recording great videos. Just be sure that whatever you use has the capability of saving the video as an MP4 or MOV file. It is recommended that you record a short practice video and view it before recording the final version. Review your final version before submitting to JA staff. How to share your recording. Follow the directions near the end of your volunteer presentation guide. Your presentation needs to be saved as a video file in order to be uploaded and shared with JA staff. MP4 or MOV is a preferred file format. Refer to your presentation guide for suggestions on platforms you can use to record your video. After that, upload it to the JA Dropbox folder. A link to this folder is provided in your presentation guide. Please note, some corporate or business networks will block access to external file sharing sites like Dropbox. In this case, you may need to use a personal device to film and share your recording, or you can contact your JA North representative for additional guidance. Once you submit your video, JA will brand it and upload it to a video sharing platform. Videos are shared with teachers who will play them for their class during their JA lesson. Team Junior Achievement is here for you. If you have additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your JA staff contact or email volunteer@janorth.org. And finally, thank you. Junior Achievement inspires and prepares young people for a successful future. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you truly for lending your time and talents to the success of the next generation. On behalf of all of us here at Junior Achievement, thanks a bunch.